Following up on my last video, I have a progress update for you on my LEGO Atari, which is now somewhat taking form. And if you stay far enough away, it actually does kind of look like an Atari, but as you come up close, the truth is revealed. It's actually made of Lego, and then a further truth is revealed, which is that it's not actually done yet. Building this in a fairly non-linear way, taking the strategy of eating your vegetables first and saving dessert for later, because in bags 1 and 2 you actually get to build these games and these little 3D pop-ups that are on top of there, along with the case or stand that the games go into. But I thought I'd save that and go right into building the console, and that's exactly what I've done. So I've made a pretty good dent in this. If you look ahead here into, I love that picture there, where it looks like he's actually playing an Atari. I'm pretty much like right here. I've done this. I saved bag 8, which is the third game. That's Asteroids, I believe. And I made a little bit of progress onto this. So this is like the second half that I'm going into, even though I haven't actually completed some of the first half. I just want to see what this looks like when it's done. One thing that kind of irks me, especially under these lights that I have here in the studio, you can see just how dull those Lego bricks are and how smudgy and fingerprinty they look. I'm definitely going to give this thing a nice cleaning before I put it all on display, which is normally what this is going to be meant for. But inside here, you got a little bit of Technic action, but most of this is just, you're just basically building a big rectangular black box that has a little bit of angles to it. And this is kind of interesting, the way that they put some of this together. In fact, some of it's upside down, which I thought was kind of neat. Again, there is a lot of teal and orange inside here that you'll never see, especially once you get that on top. I love what they did with the wood grain on this. You can instantly tell, using a little bit of imagination, you can tell that that is supposed to simulate wood, and this is actually a printed piece, actually 2 of printed pieces there. Obviously, we got a little bit going on here, but I have a lot left to go. In fact, my next bag is going to be a fun one. It's bag 10, and then I've got bag 13. You're like, Greg, what are you doing? Well, bag 10 builds the little Easter egg that's inside here, and I'm not sure how well that shows up, but in this has like a little pop-up where it's someone's actually playing Atari in like a little Lego room, and that comes out of the console, which is really neat. So that's the next thing I need to do that will go in here, and then bag 13 kind of finishes up the parts of this, and that all connects it together. Again, not the most traditional way to build this set, but that's okay. I'm doing it the way that I want to do it. We still have the bags 1, 2 over here, bag 8. That's going to be all the games, so I'll probably do those last. These are for the console still. So I'm actually going to probably get to bag 16 before I get to bag 1, then I'll come back through and build that. I'm excited to do the controllers too, which I'm not sure where they're at in the grand scheme of things. Probably a little bit later, but for now, where I'm jumping into, I think I might even live stream a little bit of it because I'm feeling frisky. Might go into bag 10, and then we'll try to do 13 as well. And that's going to put us to a nice spot, because I think 14, I'm just like constantly looking ahead to see like what my strategy is going to be. Unnecessarily, I could have just went through it the way it was supposed to, but this feels right to me. They don't want to go, all right, here's 8 bags, start building. They want to give you a little something, and I think that's a good idea, but I'm saving it. I'm savoring it. So yeah, there's the games, and we're going to jump into bag 10 next, which I'm actually excited to show you. I think bag 10, when it's finished, is going to be more impressive than everything that you see here, everything that I've built so far, which is about half of the bags. So let's jump ahead all the way. That's bag 8. We're really far into this manual, actually. Bag 10, that's what I'm building right there, and that's what you'll see in just a moment. As everyone leaves my live stream, I'm left here with an awesome bag 10. This is definitely the most exciting part of this build so far. As I mentioned to everyone in the chat there, I was like, you know, as fun as this would be to watch me build, this is really the coolest part. As you can see, we've got our very own Lego minifig in there, and he has an Atari logo on his torso, which I imagine that's gonna be worth some money in the future. He's got an Atari controller because he's playing actual Atari. That's supposed to be an Atari there. And I would say using minimal pieces, there's like 7 pieces there, that's a pretty good job. There you can see the TV that he's playing on. There's posters on the wall, and this thing's not sitting up very well because they put Technic pins in the bottom. But we got the Johnny Thunder Indiana Jones back there. We've got a space poster. This one says New Wave. It's like a band. And then we've got a cat, some roller skates, a telephone. We've got, speaking of old technology, we've got a boombox, we've got a VCR tape, we've got an action figure, assuming these are books or maybe other toys, that nasty green carpeting that was popular in the 70s, and wood grain walls. Look at that. That was fun though. That was a nice little build. Had fun chatting with everybody too. And then this thing though, eventually what's gonna happen after I do this next bag, which we're still working on, this is gonna be inside here in some way. And then it like flips up, I think, or comes out, which I'm still kind of curious about how that works. This is gonna be a building technique that comes out of this that I think I'm really gonna enjoy kind of seeing the process, because there's this. I guess the best way to move this is this. So you can see that kind of doing its thing. This back here, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm gonna figure all this out as I go. And then it's gonna be like those moments where you're just like, aha, that's what the designer was doing. And that's so creative, the way that they did that. So there is bag 10. And now, of course, what bag would you go to after bag 10? If you guessed 13, you guessed correct. I'm gonna build this up and then I'll give you a final update here, and I'll show you exactly what this looks like, where we're at after what seems to be a pretty natural stopping point. That was a speedy little build, basically just putting these rails on each of those sides there. Building so much quicker when you're not chatting and getting distracted. I thought I would save this last little bit for you. I'm kind of just putting everything together here, including this, which goes on there like that and just tucks down. That's how that works. Interesting. Look how that just hides itself away in there. Before I show this off in all of its glory, I've got to put these two pieces inside here, which I guess these just go down there like that. And this goes over here. I have no idea what this is actually going to do. I'm just trusting the designer here. So let's pull this out and see what happens here. Oh, minifig died. He was not sitting on there very well. But wow, that's cool. Check that out. Dude, I love that. That is such a great little thing of this. Let me see if I can get you a cool shot here where it kind of sits down there and he slides in. The minifig just fell again. I'm gonna tilt that in a little bit and then really make sure he's stuck on there. And hopefully he stays there. So we'll set that back down and then bring you guys out a little bit so you can see this as I pop that up. Much better. I think that's so darn neat. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that a couple hundred more times for you here since I like it so much. It's very satisfying. The way that that comes up, it feels like, it's like pulling out a really high quality dresser drawer. And then at the end there, the way that kind of flips, it hits this point where it's just like perfection. These LEGO designers, man, they're just amazing. But yeah, there's the Atari really coming together. I love this set. That just really sold me over on that. And I just think it's so cool. You tired of that yet? I'm definitely not. If you're following along at home, that's where we're at right now. And then bag 14 finishes up the console. So that's where we're gonna be at the end of my next bag, which is crazy. And then 15 is the controller, and then 16 is another game. So we're just like, we're on the cusp. This is so awesome because I built all the low payout stuff with the little reward there at the end. And now I get into all the really great stuff, like putting this piece across the top here, building the controller, building the games, the stand for the games, and all of those little 3D pop-up things. Speaking of 3D pop-up, do it a couple more times for you there. This is turning out awesome. And man, I'm just like, I'm stoked for the next part of this, which I hope you are too, because I'm leaving on a bit of a cliffhanger. You got to see this so far, but the next one, and I'm going to document it as I go, so it's not just like, hey, I have this done. I want to share with you all the cool stuff that really, I think, makes this set truly spectacular and worth your hard-earned LEGO dollars. So on that, I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on this very interesting update on the LEGO Atari. I can't stop doing that. Like, I'm just going to sit here all day and just keep doing this. This is going to be fun, man. This is why I love LEGO. So I hope you have a glorious rest of your day. Thank you for everybody that came into my live stream, and we'll see you all in the next video. Okay, one more for the road.